Did you know that the pugs wake up every morning around 5:30? I pretend that I'm asleep because I think it's too early to go for a walk. But at around 6 o'clock, they start licking me. And then I have no choice. I have to get up. We go to the park so they can run around and do their thing. But usually when we get back to the house, it's still so early that I can take a little nap before I get ready to go to work. I found that often when I take this little nap after the walk, I have a very vivid dream. And this morning, this dream was that the pugs kept multiplying. There were 2 pugs on me, and then I realized that Brennan had 2 pugs on him. And I thought, why do we have 4 pugs suddenly? And then I looked down and I saw this little black pug puppy stretching on my chest. And then there was another one. There were 6 pugs in this dream. I don't know how that happened, but it was a cute dream. The morning before, I had a dream that my car was stolen. So I prefer the pugs. After a pretty lazy morning, Brennan and I went to get some food. We went to Picaresca. And on the way there, we just strolled through the neighborhood a little bit and looked at the planting in people's gardens. I like how the lantana and bougainvillea were merging together in this hedge. And this is Brugmansia, or devil's trumpet. I love the smell of this flower, although it is poisonous. At Picaresca, I got the Chilaquiles Verde. Delicious. That chilaquiles was so delicious. Rather spicy, but very delicious. We're now going to a friend's store. It's called The Good Liver. And 10 years ago, Bert and Mimi opened it. They're fellow Koreans, and they sell the most beautiful tableware, tools for the home, incense. And for their 10-year anniversary of the store, they're having a little sale, and you know that I can't resist a good sale. So let's see what they've got. I hope you noticed that I finally washed my windshield. How dirty was that? I'm hoping that the Good Liver has some good records to choose from. Bert has such good musical taste, and I picked up some minimalist Japanese piano music in the past. I wonder what they have now. Bert wasn't there at the Good Liver. It was Adam, and he was incredibly helpful. I just love seeing what they've got. The incense. Incidentally, I actually helped Bert and Mimi choose incense for their store when they just opened. I recommended a Japanese brand called Minorien. They're so good. I have a lot of their incense at home. I saw some great things in there, like these Japanese whiskey glasses. And a dustpan and brush, which I already have. I bought it a few years ago at Good Liver. These cute ceramic decorations. Scissors. These really beautiful soaps from Belgium. They smelled amazing. My particular favorite one was an amaranth soap. Organic cotton socks, which I bought. Brendan bought a pair too. Look at this funnel. It's perfect. We got some good things at Good Liver, including these salad, what do you call them? Salad utensils? Forks? This one has a little chip in it, so it was half price. And then there was an extra discount on top of that because of the sale. So, I mean, it's wabi-sabi. I have some oil for my chopping block, so I'm just gonna put some here. Maybe I'll sand it down a little bit. Make a salad tonight. Adam at the Good Liver was telling us, well, I asked him if they were affected by this matcha craze because they sell matcha and other Japanese teas. And he said, oh yeah, it's been a huge thing. People were coming in wanting to buy 10 cans of matcha at a time. Each can is $85. Thank God I don't really drink matcha. I thought it was funny how Adam at Good Liver was telling me about this matcha craze, and I knew that it was a big thing. It's on the news that there's this global shortage of matcha. And I'm supposing it's probably TikTok and social media that made the matcha craze so huge. Maybe because I'm a little bit of a contrarian. If everyone is after something, I tend to not be after it because it's so popular. And I'm guessing most of you watching this are the same. Otherwise, you'd probably be watching someone who's talking about matcha and how great it is right now. But matcha is pretty great. Tongs. Salad tongs. Is that what these are? Salad forks? Salad spoons. After the Good Liver, we went to Silver Lake because I wanted to check out the new Mohawk Man. I love going to Mohawk General Store and Mohawk Man because the clothes are beautiful. And the guy who owns Mohawk Man, his name is Kevin, is a big audiophile. So he usually has these really fantastic vintage audio pieces in the store. They're not in use. They're basically just to look at. Except maybe the Macintosh amps are being used. That's true. And the new space looks fantastic. They just did a great job. And I saw that he had some new audio pieces, which took my breath away. I just bought some tarragon because I'm gonna make Béarnaise sauce tonight, one of my favorite things in the world. I didn't ask for a bag, so I'm just walking around LA with tarragon. So today, the fragrance I have on is called You and I Will Die, and the brand is House of Mammoth. I discovered this scent initially when I was judging for the Art and Olfaction Awards way back in the beginning of the year. And there was one scent that I kept going back to. Now remember that the judging process is anonymous. We don't know who the brands are. There's just a written description about the scent itself and maybe the inspiration, but there are no hints about the brand. And I remember scoring this one scent very highly. It was very possibly #1 in my ranking. And it turns out to be this scent. I met the owner of the brand and the perfumer, his name is Benjamin Esposito, when he was in town for Scent Week. And I told him how much I enjoy this scent. The thing that really struck me about this when I was judging all the fragrances is that it was so specifically 80s leather chypre. And that's not really a style that a lot of people are working in right now. So I thought it was a very interesting choice. You get all of those wonderful notes of leather, which is probably isobutyl-quinoline, which used very sparingly can create this fantastic chic leather smell. And definitely some patchouli in the base. That's what's giving it that chypre feel, specifically an 80s chypre feel. I believe there's a little bit of jasmine up at the top, and of course some citrus to give it some lift. The name You and I Will Die is basically making reference to that idea that I was talking about before in that Keats poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn, that life is impermanent. And there's something beautiful about the fleeting quality of our existence. I'm not sure how that pertains to an 80s leather chypre, but it doesn't matter. It's a fantastic scent. It's a great name, a wonderful sentiment. And I'm learning more about the brand. Benjamin makes shaving products like shave cream and aftershave, and these very fine fragrances. It's a small brand, so I hope more people discover them. They're beautifully made fragrances. I remember while I was judging, I kept going back to my wrist and enjoying the dry down of this scent. And then when I got home, I dug this out. This is Giorgio for Men from Giorgio Beverly Hills. In the 80s, the Giorgio fragrances were such a big craze. And I bought this with my saved up cash, probably 8th grade. I remember when I used to wear it back in the 8th grade, I thought it was a very fresh scent, but by today's standards, it's so full of leather and vetiver and patchouli, it would not be considered a freshie today. I like this. I feel like I smell like a man, but like an 80s man right now. Wonderful. I hope this makes a comeback. Okay, I think it's time to light a little bit of incense. I have two here from Minorien, Sandalwood, and Chiara Choco 5. I either bought these at Good Liver or maybe JapanIncense.com. I used to buy a lot of incense on that website. So of the two, the Sandalwood is a lot less expensive. I guess Sandalwood is slightly less rare than Chiara, which is a very high-grade oud or agar wood. So I could even light the sandalwood incense on a daily basis if I'd like. Oh, this is incredible. These are 2 chips of actual Mysore sandalwood. A perfume friend gave this to me. What I love about the smell of sandalwood is that it's kind of creamy, almost gourmand, a little bit nutty. I almost think this incense smells like toast a little bit. So I light incense, sometimes to meditate, sometimes just to create an atmosphere. But I think this incense you could actually light before dinner because it wouldn't interfere with the aroma of foods. In fact, it would probably go very well with it. That's just lovely. This is a perfect daily stick. The other incense I have here is the Minorien Chiara Choco 5. Minorien, like most high-quality Japanese incense brands, will make incenses that are either based in sandalwood or agar wood. This would be the agar wood. In fact, a Chiara, which is a very high-grade agar wood. I've told you this a bunch of times, so please forgive me if I'm repeating myself. The brand also talks about this distinctive damp smell in their incenses, and I do get that. There's a very nice earthiness, like damp earth. And in the case of the Chiara Choco 5, I think it's patchouli that's creating that effect. And of course it comes in this beautiful kiri wood or paulownia wood box. This is very special. I feel like the scent of this Chiara incense just hangs nicely in the air. And it definitely makes the house become a very specific place just through the scent. So I figured it out. These are actually called salad servers, not tongs. There was a little chip. They're made from teak wood. Because of this chip, they were heavily discounted. I don't mind the chip, but I am going to smooth it out a little bit. I do have some sort of a lotion or an oil to treat wood. I got it from my chopping block, but do you think I can find it? It's nowhere to be found. I looked everywhere. I do have this camellia oil, which I bought to condition blades like knives and secateurs. I looked up to see if camellia oil is food safe, and it is. So let's put a little bit on this paper towel. Let's oil this wood. Looks good to me. Remember how last week I was smelling the mock orange at Laura and Evan's house? I found some at the flower market, so I thought I'd make an arrangement using them. They smell incredible. This bearded iris was from a week ago, but it's still going strong. I got some more bearded iris, and some nigella here. And these roses are from my garden right outside the front door. As you can see, Brennan was very busy at the flower market. I left to go to work, but he stayed a little bit longer and picked up this incredible artichoke, scabiosa, some Queen Anne's lace, and this desert sage is actually from the garden. He just clipped it and put it in this arrangement. It has a really nice smell. I don't know what these flowers are called, but the seller gave them to Brendan for free because she said that they were past their prime. It was towards the end of the day. She just wanted to get rid of them. I think it looks so nice. I put Brendan's arrangement on this sideboard to clear up space on the dining table for dinner. And look at this, I finally installed this picture light that Brendan got for me last month for my birthday. I just love how this painting glows. You know this painting because it's been in the background of all of the videos pretty much. I found it in the Paris flea market at Saint-Ouen several years ago, Clignancourt. Apparently it's an 18th century priest from the Loire Valley. And I've named him Jérôme. This is a pot I threw on a wheel years ago when I used to do ceramics. We use this a lot for salad, so let me put the new salad servers in the bowl. All ready for tonight. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.